Welcome to World Class Bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages, we are back at it again. And if you really want me to, I'll show you my tits.
Okay. I'm so
what the hell?
go.
All right.
That man chuckling in the background is the last standing Samoan Nick Utan.
How's it going, guys?
And finally, if World Class Bullshitters were the Power Rangers, this man would be our Zordon, Kendo Slice.
Ray versus Rose, a clam slam story.
So this has been a really big week in pop culture news, especially on the Star Wars front. And I don't think that's hyperbolic to say that. We've had word about Rian Johnson winning a big award. Kathleen Kennedy was almost fired. And now it looks like Fox is going to get gobbled up in the giant asshole that is known as Disney. But before we get into all that fun, I'd like to give a special shout out to our listener of the week, Steve Sember. Steve, you know who you are. We've talked on air. We've talked off air. Actually, let me rephrase that. We've never spoken on air. We've spoken off air about stuff. And I know that World Class Bullshitters is helping you through some times. And I appreciate that. So thanks for letting us know. And keep us up to date with your situation. Also, a very special shout out to our meme winner of the week, Juan Carlos Reneo. I can't show it here, but it's literally Rian Johnson shitting on Star Wars. So if you guys are a member of our Facebook page, go over there and check it out. There's a man's ass, if that's your cup of tea. Now, folks, if you want to win Meme Winner of the Week, all you got to do is post it to our Facebook group and make us laugh. And now, let's give a quick shout out to our newest patrons, because the listeners and the patrons are the lifeblood of World Class Bullshitters. So, special shout out to Joe K 9800, Matt Truman, Logan Michael, David Munden, Jonathan Jerem Beck, Mongo, Bernard Babinski, The Fandom Menace, Rugis, Peter Brian Nickerson, Mims Guided, Amnesiac, Mark Robson, Rugis again, Peter Brian Nickerson again, and it looped over to Mark Robson again. So thank you very much to all of our new patrons, and we greatly appreciate it. Last night we had our patron hangout, and on Sunday we're doing another one. So make sure you guys don't miss out on that. It's going to be me, one-on-one, with our good friend American Trent, and we're going to talk about pop culture merchandise, so it should be a good time. Now, before we start the show, I have to mention people who have brought World Class Bullshitters to you this week: Aaron Clary's book, Worthless, John David's Morgala Saga, and Mike Leone's Rated R audiobook series over on Amazon. The links are in the description below, and if you guys want to help support independent entertainment, click the links, check it out. It's good quality work. So, Dion, you've been away for quite a while. I've missed you. It's been rough out here without you. You ready to hear some bad news? I was muted, so he doesn't even care.
Yeah, apparently he muted himself.
Oh, wait, my bad. I mean, with these two, I get it. And then the other joke I had, yeah, I mean, I want to hear bad news, but not really. So lay it on me there, Chief Reno.
Well, let's start talking about the bad news. So first up, Rian Johnson wins a Saturn Award for Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Jesus Christ, what in the fuck?
Well, some of the people think we're making this up, so let's prove to them that I'm not full of shit, at least on this topic. So, at last night's 2018 Saturn Awards, The Last Jedi writer and director Rian Johnson won the award for Best Writing. Since the release of The Last Jedi, a number of Star Wars fans on the internet have crudely expressed their disdain towards the decisions Johnson made in the movie. Fuck them. I think we do it quite eloquently.
Yep.
So it's not too big of a surprise to know that many people on the internet did not take Johnson's win very well. It's no secret that a large portion of the Star Wars fan base, specifically the portion that hated The Last Jedi, has become rather unbearable on the internet over the past 6 months.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's like the pot calling the kettle black. I mean, they're the unbearable ones because people that have a little bit of power just keep wielding it and talking shit to us.
We just like the thing is that we just keep saying we don't like the movie and here's why, and they're the ones who are angry. It's like, no, you don't like it because of race and inclusivity and diversity and you're white males who hate everything. It's like, no, we're not. Sorry.
Plus, I love how the Saturn Award is supposed to be like a benchmark as far as ability to convey your dream, or not your dream, your your idea in storytelling and you as a filmmaker being able to create. You have a project that it's a fun and engaging story. And The Last Jedi is none of that. Like it's a sequel that it purposely tries to destroy its connection to the previous movies. Everyone that does like it accepts the fact that, oh yeah, it's going in a new direction, despite the fact that it's part of a franchise that fucking should be living in an established universe. Not to mention the fact that you have all these things happen, all these characters do these different things, and even people who wrote the movie, for example, the casino scene. It's a sore thumb in the whole fucking movie. Even people involved in the film are like, yeah, they didn't really need to be in there. But he wins a Saturn Award for it, despite all the supposed legitimate criticisms that people have had of this film. He gets a Saturn Award for that. If he makes a movie, take away the Star Wars, and it's called Jupiter Ascending, does he get a fucking Saturn Award for this movie? Absolutely fucking not.
No, he doesn't. Jupiter Award.
Hey! Jupiter Ascending was a masterpiece. You shut your mouth.
But the Wachowski siblings are all about that.
The Wachowski people.
Yeah, the Wachowski beings, the Wachowski duo,
Americans.
Yeah, whatever we're gonna call them now. But I promise you take away Star Wars and you present this as an independent thing that he came up with, a random Disney movie on par with fucking Wrinkle in Time, and he doesn't even get a sniff of a fucking Saturn Award.
So are you telling me that this is essentially a participation award for existing?
Oh, yes, it is. This is his little tiny wishbone. Congratulations, Disney gave you money and you made a Star Wars movie. Good job, buddy.
They couldn't afford to influence the Academy Awards or anything else. But you get a Saturn, so go home and don't cry about it.
I think it was a metaphor. They gave him a Saturn Award because, like Saturn, his head is round and bulbous. And like Saturn, he's full of gas. So it seems only fair.
Oh, I'll take that.
Well, no, if you the article goes on to say stuff like a large portion of the fan base hated it. They said it's ruining the franchise. Other fans are creating petitions to completely erase The Last Jedi from the canon, and people are trying to get him fired as well as fund their own version of The Last Jedi. So every article, especially our friend Scott Mendelson, every article that comes out where they try to keep picking at the fans, there's so many people that are doing so many things because they hate this movie. Why can't they just accept it and apologize? I think that'll stop all of it.
No, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because the reason people are making this effort to erase this movie or do better than it or get it away from everything is because it sucks. That's the only reason. It's really bad. I mean, and they should be like, sorry we fucked up. We'll try to do better. Just say that. That's all we want. Make it genuine. Shit.
Yeah, I just love the all these people are wrong mentality. It's like you have people who have bought Star Wars merchandise since they were children that are in their 30s and 40s and 50s. People who have followed the franchise, and people who aren't even, I guess I should say, not on Disney payroll, but have been talking about Star Wars for decades. And all of these same people are saying this is not a very good Star Wars movie. But again, it's no. All this incredible amount of people are fucking wrong. They're all wrong. We're right. They're all saying the same stuff. They're all wrong. They just don't like this. It's like guys, if there's a common fucking denominator here, even if you take away, and there are mouth breathers, there's a bunch of neckbeards out there. WCBS, we're really lucky. We've got like 1% of those people, but fucking, even if you take away the mouth breathers and the neckbeards, so many people have legitimate gripes with this fucking movie as to why it's not a good Star Wars movie. And Rian Johnson is on Twitter fucking just, I got a Saturn Award and you don't get it. And I got, bitch, you weren't even mentioned for an Academy Award. Don't sit over here with the Saturn Award, fingering yourself, getting really excited over it. It's fucking almost July to talk about this? Okay. Yeah, fucking 7 months after the movie came out. But it's only after all the fucking backlash. They're fucking trying to rub your little cute little head so you can fall asleep, you little bitch.
you know damn well Kathleen Kennedy's gonna attach that damn Saturday Award to her strap-on thing and fuck Rian Johnson with it just to make a point.
It is her new strap-on.
Which award is more prestigious, the Saturn Award or the Kids' Choice Awards?
Hey, Kids' Choice Award, because people actually get to vote on that one.
And you get slimed.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey won like 12 years in a row.
Didn't Tim Allen win a lot too?
He's the best TV dad ever.
Yeah, he won a lot as well. Yeah.
I mean, that one's not wrong. I just know that I got fucking, even though I don't watch it, like, just randomly you're on ESPN and like, oh, John Cena's hosting. I don't fucking care. It's weird watching Hulk Hogan on steroids running around screaming with a bunch of kids on TV. It fucking makes me feel weird. Stop.
By the way, a Saturn Award, when you Google Saturn Awards, the first image is a picture of James Remar holding a Saturn Award.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it?
Was that for Dexter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That show ended like shit. There's also a picture of Carl Grimes from The Walking Dead. So there you go.
Oh.
That's the company Rian Johnson is carrying.
Wow.
Okay. Keeping. Chandler Riggs from The Walking Dead. Whoop-de-doo. Look what Rian Johnson did.
The Saturn Awards are synonymous with rewarding shitty writing.
Yeah.
Plus, don't they usually come out in the springtime? Like, is it just me or is it fucking late? It's the middle of the year. And we're going to mention that Rian Johnson's up for a war. I'm just like, bitch, you guys waited until the mid-2018 to be like, oh, you know what? We've been watching this movie for 7 months. And it's a fucking, I can't get enough of it. Like, am I the only one that's like, they specifically wanted to be like, hey, internet, fuck you. We usually come out with this shit earlier in the year because it'll make sense to be talking about movies from 2017. But we're gonna wait because we want Disney and Sweet Kathleen, Special KKK, and little tuckered out Rian Johnson to take home a W because they've just been fighting those horrible internet fans. Get the fuck out of here with
Special
that shit.
KKK's got to be a T-shirt.
Oh my
now.
god!
Oh,
yeah. From what I'm seeing now, it seems like the Saturn Award, the ceremony happens every June, like towards the end of June.
Oh, it is okay.
Yeah, it started in 1973, and I guess it's prestigious. And
It's basically it sounds like Hollywood's participation award. It's like, yeah, we can't do anything else for you, but like, you know, we'll give you a limo and like a 2-drink minimum, and you come out to this thing, and we'll give you an award.
Well, here's a couple records, and then we'll get into our super chats because a lot of people are blowing up that. Thank you, by the way, folks. Make sure you're hitting that like button too. We have quite a few people watching. I mean, we're early in the show already. Got almost 600 people.
Turn off that pesky ad block.
Oh, never mention Jarbo the Hutt on this show ever again. So the most individual awards, the winner goes to James Cameron. He's won 11 awards. The most individual nominations go to John Williams, deservedly so. The most awards for a single film is Avatar with 11 awards.
Oh,
Here we go. The most nominations, Star Wars The Force Awakens. The most awards for a TV series and nomination, Lost. Lost has 53 nominations.
So, in other words, their
Wow.
credibility is just
Exactly.
not there.
that's exactly what I was thinking. Kind of like when Lost wins a bunch of awards, you know that your process is fucking flawed, sir.
Hold on, we're not done. Most awards for a person in acting go to Anna Torv. I've never heard of Anna Torv. She was on Fringe. Okay. It seems like this is all fucking one-sided. It definitely is. Most nominations for an actor, Tom Cruise with
See, okay, okay. I'll accept that.
No.
The only one that has any respect in my book is John Williams, because James Cameron, I hate Avatar.
Well, Avatar is, outside of Terminator, Titanic, you made that movie's boring as shit. Hey, people loved it, whatever. But then you right now you're working really. Your swan song is Avatar 2 and 3, and you bitching about fucking. What was he complaining about last year?
Superhero movies.
Just in general, Sarah Connor was fucking bad. It's like, dude, calm the fuck down, Jay. What are you bitching about? He's a crotchety old man in a small lesbian's body. Fucking James Cameron just needs to just cool.
So he's Ellen. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
But he can't dance.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Ellen can't dance either, so I guess that kind of comes.
That's true. Okay.
That's just the whiteness.
Hey, Alex from Target, you want to be on my show? I can't wait to have you on here.
Have you been drinking? Because I feel like I need to join that party.
I actually have, and I am not apologizing.
People in the chat, press F if I should pull out the Crown Royal. Fuck it.
Oh my god.
All right, Jeff, I'm
Do it.
drinking.
All right. The Crown Royal's out in front of me. I got Good Morning Pop Culture in 9 hours. I can handle it. So, folks, let's get to these super chats because everyone's been so generous with the channel. First off, let's thank Bagel Goose, who wants to let us know that he's allergic to cream cheese. So I'm sorry for that, Bagel Goose.
Watch the canopy, Bagel Goose.
D. Cara says, and we got Jonathan Kasdan writing Indiana Jones 5. Well, D. Cara, I will be talking about that longer tomorrow on Good Morning Pop Culture. But before we move on, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that the guy that wrote Solo is a good fit for the next Indiana Jones movie?
No.
You know that video of when the Hindenburg blows up and it crashes?
Yeah.
That's the image I just had in my head right now. He said he's writing Indiana Jones 5.
Yeah, fuck that. Because like the thing that keeps getting me wake me up pisses me off more than anything about that movie. Solo. It's like Han. Oh, you're the only one of your people. We'll call you Han Solo. Fuck you.
Yeah. Goddamn right.
Damn
Fuck you.
That is the laziest piece of shit writing I've ever seen in my life. That's how you get his name? Fuck you.
Yeah. Yeah, well, let's see. Gemini Waters, participation awards, and his parents putting all his shitty drawings on the fridge as a kid is what got Ryan to where he is now. Are we surprised?
No, it seems fair. Fair.
Thank you very much. Jimmy B. This post has been sponsored by shitposting when Darth Rian Johnson deserves nothing less.
That's fair. It's very fair.
Fair enough. Okay, at this point, Dion, who's more offensive, Rian Johnson or Zack Snyder?
You know what? I'm just listen. and the fan base collectively takes a deep breath. I still think Zack Snyder's worse. Now, don't get me wrong. John Stain he's coming on very quickly. But the thing is, he's like that really nerdy kid who like one cute girl talked to him in high school. So like he's all puffing his chest out when like everyone, and especially him, know it's just like, shut the fuck up, Timmy. Like you're not that cool. Fucking Zack Snyder legitimately believes that he made a good movie and committed to it multiple times, multiple films. So he's still getting his head cracked open. But Rian Johnson's just that annoying ass weird kid that wore black jeans still in the late 2000s, and you're like, why are you wearing black jeans and your belt's so tight, man? And he had like a butterfly knife, and he was like, yo, listen, fucking Stacy said that I look cute.
What is this show?
I love it.
I don't know.
I love it.
I don't know. Just kind of enjoying the ride.
This is our best show. Nothing will be on episode 129 where we talk about Stacy and Butterfly.
Sorry, Ryan. Stacey wasn't talking about you. She's talking about the fucking linebacker behind her.
Yeah. She's getting plowed. Anyway, Sabat Hada, thank you very much. I can't believe that this fucking movie would get this stupid award. There are so many other deserving movies. Star Wars needs to die.
Agreed.
Thank you.
I wouldn't say needs to die. They just need someone who knows what the fuck they're doing.
Well, they don't have that, so we're going to double down, and we're going to make sure there's that Rian Johnson trilogy.
Disney, for the love of God, hire us. We'll make it better. We'll make it all better
And cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're twice as expensive because we need to get paid.
We'll get paid. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's going to come out of the budget for the movie.
We're basically going to reenact it with action figures. I got the entire line. We're going to bring back Han Solo.
It'll be like Thundercats.
Yeah.
Cool. I can do some green screen. We'll get this going. It's fine.
You know, it's funny. You know, the Harrison Ford story we always talk about, that's going to get turned into a comic soon. So,
oh my God, don't tell me that. That's fucking awesome.
Well, because we came up with the concept on air. Instead of just fucking waiting for years and years to try to get something made, PBS is going to help me out with this Indiegogo. We're going to launch the comic book as the thing, and then all the money we get, we're going to funnel into making the movie with the real Harrison Ford.
Give us your money.
Yeah. Don't worry. We got plenty of time to pimp it out later. Don't worry. EBS is a master at this shit.
That makes me so fucking happy, though. Like, that's ridiculous. I love it.
That's the next step for WCBS, my friend.
Oh, my God. I love it.
Evil Ash 3373, thank you. The only award he should get is a Uranus award because that's where he pulled the Last Jedi from.
True story, bro.
Ooh, good comment. Love it.
Super chat from McKinney90. Thank you very much. Dion, I would one-up everyone, or sorry, I would one-up you even more if I could speak. If this was some indie movie, it would be completely forgettable on the level of a sci-fi channel movie. But because this is Star Wars, it was more insulting and truly damaging.
Amen to that.
Like you said, take the name Star Wars The Last Jedi off of this, and you got not even Jupiter Ascending. What was that one movie with Cara Delevingne and the Green Goblin, the meth one, Valerian. There you go.
Valerian, yeah.
A
Goblin
bunch
2.
of money, and no one gave a shit. Goblin 2. Thank you there, McKinney90. We appreciate it. Corey Reeve came to say piss off for best writing credit. We've been pissed on. The Grand Inquisitor, John Kasdan, is now writing Indiana Jones 5. What's your over-under on him bringing back Short Round as a ladyboy? I got 89-11 odds.
Those aren't that good odds, but
No, what's gonna happen is Harrison Ford's gonna die in the first 5 minutes. Then his daughter's gonna come avenge him or some shit like that. And
yeah, Indiana Jones, so she'll be Florida Jones.
Sounds like a porn star. I'd watch that movie. You know what's fucked up? And if that happens, I'll go, oh man, where's Shia LaBeouf? Only he can save this movie.
That's a very factual statement.
he's probably in prison.
Running for your life. It's Shia LaBeouf.
He will not invite us.
Either he's in prison or doing street art where he's just like naked.
I would watch that movie. American Trent 421. KK must be fired now. God damn it! Now. After all, there will be fandom of big smiles. Big smiles. Don't ruin any more classics, Disney. Thanks.
Well, I mean, people keep wanting her fired, but like, who would do good in replacing her? You think?
Me.
Okay, I'm down with that.
Fair point. I'll take it.
I'm throwing out my name. There you go, Jeff Hicks.
Any of the four of us would do better.
Yeah. Lord Master of Lucasfilm. If you suck, you're fired. I don't care. Sabat Hada again, thank you. Ryan, like Kathleen, needs to lose his job. I agree 100%. Captain Liberator, Saturn Award? I thought they did away with that car.
Well played with that one. I'll give you that one. That was good.
I like it a lot. Rhino4563. Dion is on fire. Roundhead fingering his beehole. Classic. Right up there with Campy is a shill. Great job. Dude, Dion, welcome to the club. We got to put that on a t-shirt, Ryan Johnson.
We do.
Beehole. I actually think special KKK is going to happen this week. So,
Kathleen, kill a Kennedy. Kathleen, kill your fucking favorite franchise Kennedy.
Yeah, ruin your favorite characters while you're at it. Com Vlad says The Last Jedi beat Logan. Blade Runner 2049. How big was the bribe? Well, it was either give this movie an award or butt raping. I don't know.
You get to use that fucking Saturn Award dildo.
I know. Just I always wanted.
With extra rings.
No, thank you.
Ribbed for no pleasure.
That's right.
Oh God. Hiram Bigelow. It's my birthday. I just turned 19. Love you guys. Happy birthday, Hiram Bigelow.
Happy birthday.
And a very special happy birthday to Brian Lape, our dad.
He lied.
Was he not?
He lied about his birthday. He said it was 2 weeks ago. He tricked us.
He was born twice. You know, half of his ass was out of his mom, and then 2 weeks later, boom, there he was. I don't know how science works.
God, happy birthday, Brian Lape. Everybody go look at his beer and I guess protein reviews.
Call him a liar.
And if you see his daughter on Tinder, give her a white swipe.
White swipe, huh?
White swipe.
Just tell her to be quiet, though. Yeah. So, folks, thanks for the super chats. We appreciate everyone. And you send them in. We'll read them on air as we keep going. But let's get to the next topic tonight because this reaches all kinds of people on different platforms. By the way, we've now reached Spotify. So if you listen to World Class Bullshitters and you listen to Spotify individually, why not do both at the same time?
In the bathroom.
Yeah. With Lape's daughter. I don't know.
Oh, God.
So,
after that right swipe.
Yeah. Speaking of women, Kathleen Kennedy. Well, that's using the term loosely. I apologize to the women out there. Kathleen Kennedy was almost fired, according to Grace Randolph's expose. Did you guys hear about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Dion, since you were here since the first episode, I always ask you first. What are your thoughts on this?
I think it's hilarious. I think we obviously our big thing is laughing at them doubling down on these positions, but it's fun to see because you can tell by the way they reacted to the outcry, how they promoted the movie. They were in their ivory tower and they thought that they were untouchable, that they were the people want to see this, and if they don't, fuck the fanboy. Well, they didn't say fuck, but the fanboys are just crying. They're man babies, and to see multiple stories come out from multiple sources that there's a secret meeting with all the higher ups, and they wanted to discuss making her step down and having someone else step in, was hilarious because at this point, it's real now. Like, this isn't just about the internet complaining. This isn't just about, Rose Tico's Instagram account. This isn't just about Finn with his shitty little 2-3 word responses on Twitter. It's real now. So you're affecting the franchise again. Whatever you want to say, whatever war you want to fight, you have to realize Disney wants to make fucking money off this. They didn't spend billions of dollars to buy Star Wars to have it be torn apart by the fan base that watched it from day one. And for her to be called, because again, I don't work with that level of a company, but where I work at, if there's an emergency fucking meeting regarding something that you've done, it's real city. And I love it. I can't fucking wait to see the fallout. I can't wait and whether she doubles down or even if she gets off the gas pedal and tells Rian Johnson to shut the fuck up and stop going on Twitter, fighting with the fucking fans that pay money to go see the fucking movie. Whatever it is, either reaction is gonna be a good one. And I'm just like, hey, welcome to the fucking jungle, bitch. You got what you wanted, and now you gotta fucking sleep in that same bed.
Nick, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, especially when a giant $1 billion Fortune 500 company has to have a secret meeting about one of its employees, that's not a good sign at all. I mean, like, that's shit's hit the fan when they have to do that shit, and even then, it's not that secret because somebody's gonna find out about it. Like we found out, but it's just hilarious that the fans have affected the Disney so much that this has to happen. That Solo did so bad that they have to have this meeting. Toys have done so bad that they have to, reevaluate their stuff. I fucking love it. I love that as collectively as people who care about Star Wars have come together and affected them so much that they have to have this fucking meeting. I mean, it's amazing, and I hope everybody does not forget this when Part 9 comes around. So remember, they called us horrible, horrible shit. So when Part 9 comes around, we don't give them our money.
Yeah, Nick, they called us white.
They did. How fucking dare they?
Kendo?
Agreed with a lot that's been said, but the word almost is the thing that kind of throws me a little bit. It's like she almost got fired, which means she didn't get fired. That's the takeaway I get from this. So is it going to change anything? We'll see, but almost getting fired is a lot different than getting fired. I mean, I feel like I almost get fired every day at work. I'm just one step away from being told, get the fuck out. So
Your boss needs to pull the trigger on that one.
I honestly don't think he will, especially after the day I had today. So that's just the thing. It's like almost. If it said Kathleen Kennedy fired, then I get a little more excited. That's when I'll start to chub up a little bit in the pants. Until then, it's not happening. Almost doesn't really do anything for me. Yeah, almost.
When that happens, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream.
Oh,
party.
I will party I will get a case of Crown Royal, and I will destroy my liver for your entertainment.
I'm gonna get a room in a nice hotel so I don't fucking fuck up my woman or my kids' sleep patterns, and I'm fucking logging on with you, man. I'm like, let's fucking do this.
No, fuck it. You know what? When that happens, I'm coming to you.
Yes. Yes.
I'll be on camera, shit face. Hey, Kathleen's gone. Woo!
We'll do something silly like get a fucking bread and breakfast or some shit, and we'll just be in there. Like, look at this bread. Why the fuck we got a bread and breakfast? I don't fucking know. Give me another shot, dude. Fuck you.
I wonder how much a flight is from Atlanta to Michigan.
Worth it.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'll do it.
Let's do this. Fired, you figuring that out.
No, guys, Kendo, I am with you about the almost is the part that throws you off, but at least the discussion was had. So it goes to show you that all of our efforts have not been in vain. So I've discussed it at great length, but Dion, I want to hear more from you.
Well, my whole thing is, and I don't mean to step on your toes there, but almost getting fired at Disney is a lot different than Kendo's amateur nights at the Rusty Barrel. Like it is when you are responsible for billions of dollars and you get called into a secret fucking meeting. And it's not like it's like, oh, it's just like a couple managers. It is you're talking about heads of departments and fucking board members, and they're saying, hey, this is our option that's on the table here. We've got Toys, this movie made, $2.7 billion or something like that.
What, The Force Awakens?
Yeah.
Yeah, it made like $2 billion.
Yeah, Force Awakens made $2 billion. The sequel, which was supposed to be bigger, made less than that. Is it in the billions? Sure, but it made less than that. The toys are the sales are going down. We're getting, in a regular bubble, this isn't the end of the world, but we're getting videos that are getting hundreds of thousands of views showing our merchandise on the fucking shelves not being touched. And again, hopefully it's a possibility that this didn't happen, but if that meeting fucking happened and she had to sit there with her bosses, and again, she's supposed to be the head of Lucasfilm, and her bosses called this fucking meeting, almost is, it's not like, I survive another day and I'll just keep doing it. It's like, no, motherfucker, one more mishap, one more time, you're costing us potentially billions of dollars here.
Yeah, they've already lost in my opinion.
I'm going to be very happy when Part 9 makes below $1 billion. It's going to be fucking hilarious.
Like Tree Fitty.
And it could
I need to back for that.
And it could happen, and it could happen, man. We're looking at. It's why people who jump right in the comment section, even people who talk to people at work. Like, yeah, I'm on the show, blah blah blah. We're talking about Star Wars, whatever. And a few people that have been watching the show or listening to the show, rather, it's a fun. It's not about it being a fun movie. It's not about it still made $1 billion. That's not the point. They spent $4 billion to get Star Wars. And they're trying to make films to recoup $4 billion, and they bought it with the idea it's going to make Disney billions of dollars in return. We're not talking about, it made a couple billion, that we're not talking about marketing. We're not talking about the cost of making these fucking toys. We're not talking about trying to convince stores to buy your merchandise, t-shirts, toys, cups, paying fucking Wheaties to put these motherfuckers on the goddamn cereal boxes. They expect to make billions off of this, and if she's doing this, if Rian Johnson is doing this shit, they're costing them billions of dollars potentially. That's a serious fucking issue that they got to look at.
You're right. You're 100% right. It's the landscape's changed for Star Wars. It doesn't hold the brand value. That's the part that I don't think a lot of these online pundits want to realize. Whenever you have a person like a Scott Menace, it doesn't matter. This is going to come back. The second one and the sequels this trilogies are always the lowest. Blah 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 blah. It's like, yo, dude, these people on the internet, these self-righteous dicks, have talked down to fans. And I can't be the only one that has thought to myself, that looks kind of cool. Oh, wait, it's from new Disney Star Wars. I'm not going to buy it.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be the only one.
Well, it's really going to be funny when they launch their VOD thing. That's going to be hilarious whenever that happens, and to see what people do then.
Well, Nick, speaking of VOD and streaming services, let's do a quick transition to your story. But let me read these quick super chats. First off, Logan Michael, hello, I just joined. Thank you, Logan Michael, for everything you do for the channel. And I got to respond to your message over on Patreon, but I promise I will. PJ Santillo says, just joined. Who the fuck gave The Last Jedi an award? Please tell me it was a Razzie. Sorry to tell you, PJ, it was actually a Saturn Award for Best Writing. So The Last Jedi has an award for Best Writing.
You say that multiple times. I still can't fucking wrap my mind.
Best Writing.
Yeah, every time I say that, I get a little more pissed off.
I'm done. The Adventures of Butterball the Possum. Great name. Gave $1. Thank you very much. Dio Brando, super fan of the channel. Watch Kathleen Kennedy step down only to get replaced by Anita Sarkeesian. Ugh.
I'm sorry, but yeah, if that happens, no, fuck you, Disney.
No one in charge of money is gonna fucking ever give her a judge. Listen, she died on that fucking hill, and I'm watching her fucking body rot. I can't. That's ninth layer of hell level shit.
Don't worry, she'll be parodied in the second World Class Bullshitters comic book. So, guys, help us make the Harrison Ford one become a huge success, so we can get the second one into production. It's not about her, but it's inspired by her. Put it like that. Elusive Goalie, cool name. Found World Class Bullshitters around the time of the announcement of Toys R Us stores closing, part of the tail end of Gen X. But you guys definitely talk to me. Well, Elusive Goalie, thank you. First off for that, as well as thank you for watching the toy videos. I know Dion and I are huge toy collectors, toy fans. When we saw Toys R Us was going out of business, we messaged each other. That was like, I know this sounds a little melodramatic, but in many ways it was like, it's officially over. Our childhoods are officially over.
Yeah, man.
Because no matter what people want to say or try to make jokes about, yeah, Dion and I were partying in college and doing all the crazy shit, but we still went to Toys R Us on the weekends. And
Yeah, man.
so, like, honestly, there was drinking and girls and all that fun stuff, but there was a trip to Toys R Us here and there. So people that collect toys aren't that stereotypical nerd with the taped up glasses. They're just, dudes that love little plastic representations of their favorite thing.
They're just people like
Right.
everybody else, man.
I know. We like to have a good time.
Yeah.
Dragon Realms, thank you very much. A minor setback, but this battle station will be completed on schedule. Continue your work. Well, Dragon Realms, I will always continue my work as long as there's people listening. By the way, Dion and Kendo and Nick, we have like almost 1,000 people watching right now. So this episode of World Class Bullshit is kicking ass. Thank you to everyone.
Hello, world.
Yeah, I know, right? Hello, world. Hello is
Hi.
Here's a fun one. Logan Michael, fuck, marry, kill. Ryan Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams. I'm going to give my answer. They're all dying.
I'm marrying a blow-up doll. I'll tell you that right the fuck now.
Marrying my right hand.
I would marry Kathleen Kennedy because she's super rich, but then if a brake line snaps, you know what I'm saying? It's tragic.
Just make sure the guy that cut that brake line for you, me, gets a cut.
Goddamn. I mean, if hypothetically speaking, I may watch Death Becomes Her a couple times just to get some kinks ironed out.
Fuck, dude, that's an old movie. I fucking love that movie. God damn it.
It was a good one.
Bruce Willis had hair. Well,
Holy shit.
it was a hair piece. But
A company named Shot Factory is doing the Blu-ray in case you ever wanted that.
Goddamn right I do.
we also have one from Star Wars Philosophy. Thank you again. I always join late. Did the roundhead, snarky, pompous cuck win an award? I hate Hollywood. Well, Star Wars Philosophy, Rian Johnson, according to now Dion, won a Saturn Award for Best Writing for his work on Star Wars The Last Jedi. So that's the world we live in, folks. This movie's now winning awards. But remember, shit like this can be bought and paid for. This is all an attempt to make history look like The Last Jedi was a big success and that we were the crazy ones. So don't forget that type of shit, guys. Don't forget.
He should have won a Pluto award because, like Pluto, he's a dwarf.
You guys are on fire tonight. I love
God damn.
Twistle of Mobius says, hey, second stream for you guys, and you just earned another sub. The Last Jedi with a Saturn. What bizarre timeline have we entered? Well, Twistle of Mobius, I'm going to answer that for you. Remember Back to the Future 2, where Doc and Marty get the chalkboard, and they do the alternate 1985, the corrupt timeline where Biff is powerful and married to your mother? That's where we live, dude. And thankfully, World Class Bullshitters remembers the old timeline. So before the ripple effect sets in, we need to get everyone to wake up and stop this shit from expanding. Let's see. Mighty Nick 100, episode 9 won't make it past the Justice League's box office. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I think it'll beat Justice League, but I think just barely. I think I would.
Solo hasn't.
Well, that's Solo's a one-off. It's not part of the main lineup there.
Still funny though.
It'll get past it, but not very much. So.
And then finally, Logan Michael, our good friend, make an acronym for Social Justice Warrior. It says make an acronym for SJW. So I guess SJW is an acronym though already for Social Justice Warrior. So, sucky Jedi Wars. That's mine.
Stupid Jack Wipes.
Single jovial wankers.
That's my favorite one. I was going to go with stupid Jack White, but I like Jack White.
Jack Wipes.
What is
Wipes.
it?
Wipes, as in wipes one's ass.
Dion wins with what is it? One jovial wankers.
Single jovial wankers.
We haven't heard from Nick yet.
Oh yeah.
I got nothing. All right, don't worry about it.
Come on. He's like, it stands for turkey leg and coconuts.
Now I'm hungry. God damn it! Thanks.
Oh, me too. Fuck you guys. Sills Will saw Color of Night. B. Willis didn't have hair. I've seen, but that chick in the bathtub did. If you know what I'm saying. Oh. I shouldn't drink on the show.
He had a peninsula in the Color of Night.
Sam Flanagan, do a collab with Nerd Soup, please. Well, Sam Flanagan, like I tell everyone that has a suggestion that they would like to see us cross over with, worldclassbs@mail.com, thebestmail.com. You guys do that, and we will have archived piece of data to look back on and see who's requested. So, just email us that, and we'll respond, and we'll make it and add it to our list. And finally, before we get into the next segment, Kenneth LaRock. Thank you very much. I remember hearing about, one more. I remember hearing about the Saturn Award win a couple of months ago. Must be covering for something to bring back in the news. Kenneth, this is new news. This just was
Thursday.
This article was published on, I don't know. It says last night's award. Well, 20 hours ago, so he won yesterday.
Yeah.
He must have been talking about the Neptune Awards.
Oh, is that real?
No.
I
wish.
I think the Neptune Awards are for like literature though, so I think you might have stumbled onto an actual award.
What about the Alcott Award? You know, that little gold seal they put on kids' books? I feel like children are the only ones that could get The Last Jedi.
Well, it is written on their level.
That is a good point.
And written by one of them. Rian Johnson is the only 5-year-old who's going bald with a gray beard. So,
shit.
Star Wars philosophy. Roundhead is probably going to F us even harder. He will remake A New Hope with Kate Jenner as Luke. Episode 4, A New Gender.
That actually might be an entertaining watch just for like awesomely bad movies.
I found the Neptune Awards.
Oh, it's
real. Okay.
Yeah. The most prestigious marketing award in the marine industry are the Neptune Awards.
Oh, wow.
Not even kidding.
Well, The Last Jedi deserves 2.
Yeah, because the movie.
Well, marketing.
Holy shit!
Lost at
This
sea.
is a shitty website and a shitty award system.
Yeah, I think we all got that when we realized that Neptune Award was a real thing. We're like, you know what?
Yeah, I was just fucking naming planets.
Yeah, no, I was like, it does sound real. I looked it up real quick, and I was like, oh fuck, it is.
Dion,
Yeah.
Wasn't there a band called the Neptunes with Pharrell?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Because I want to say it was because I think them and NERD were different groups, but yeah, he was part of the Neptunes for sure.
Mm-hmm.
God, that was like early 2000s.
Next week,
Talk
Ryan
about early
Johnson
2000s.
wins of Venus.
Of Venus, presented to him by Caitlyn Jenner.
Dude, do you think he's up for a Marzi this year?
Buckle up, buckaroo.
all he gets is a razor and some leg shaving cream. That's all he gets.
Jesus.
You know, guys, when you're off on a day, like when Dion has a vacation day or something, we all need to do an episode of this as a Good Morning Pop Culture. Imagine this in the morning. People would go nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Party Home Civvy, thank you very much. Only Ghost Teddy can save us now. If we're lucky, he'll join up with Ghost Pinochet and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Hashtag the Empire did nothing wrong. Yeah, Ghost Teddy Roosevelt, save us. Logan Michael, do a video where you buy all the clearance Star Wars figures and burn them. Well,
Holy shit.
Logan Michael, if I can find a store in my area that still has them because they're all closed, they didn't sell, I'll gladly take some of our Patreon money and buy a stack of Gin Ursos and just, light them up. I'll take them over to Phil.
There might
soon.
Yeah, there might be some around me. I'll see what I can find.
Coming soon, third world nation near you. Paige Tico.
PJ Santillo, Solo was Soy Wars Episode 1, The Fandom Menace. We must keep this up and make Episode 9, Soy Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Fans. The soy cot continues. I'm glad the soy stuff has caught on with EVS, and that has, leaked over to World Class Bullshitters and all the other channels. I feel like we need to have like a brand name for all of us, like one umbrella, where we all operate individually, but we do come together in times of need, much like the High Council. So we're like the Justice League of YouTubers. There we go. And
Trust
finally, Kenneth LaRock. It was the Empire Awards Best Film. Oh God. Ugh. Never trust the Empire Awards, folks. We just
must have been a short ass list.
Yeah, Kenneth LaRock, our good friend out of the north. Nope, we don't. We will never use that.
It was either him or Zack Snyder. That's all they had.
Hey, did an in memoriam for. No, I ain't gonna make that joke.
Oh yeah, this when you made that joke.
I made that joke once on an episode. I'm not gonna fill that quota just yet.
So it'd be GSGD. That should be a T-shirt. GSCD or ZSGD. People wouldn't. If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
Oh God.
Okay, American Trent, you get the last one for a moment. Thanks to everyone though. Shit award, shit director, trophy up the shaft. Ew. Oh God, that hurts. I don't think he has much of a shaft. It's more like a bump and then a uterus. Yeah, that's Rian Johnson. So Nick, you brought up Disney's future VOD and streaming service.
Yes, I did.
But today it just came to my attention that another company is now jumping into the ring with its own streaming service. Would you like to tell our listeners who that is?
Yes, I would. The new DC streaming service will bundle superhero comics and TV shows all in one place. So, from what from the statement I'm getting from Jim Lee, who's the creative officer over at DC. He says it's a welcoming place for everyone to immerse themselves in their own level of DC fandom with the epic characters, stories, and experiences they have come to expect from DC. We're investing in creating original, high-quality shows, including the new Titan series, and curating the most beloved nostalgic content, while at the same time elevating the comic reading experience to new heights. Another thing that people have been clamoring for is a DC, I guess, a way to read DC Comics on mobile or on the digital devices and things like that. So people have been really asking for that. So they're finally doing it. I don't think there's any word yet into when it's coming out, but hopefully it'll come out soon.
The beta hits this August.
Oh, never mind then.
Well, I got that on screen for anyone that's watching at home.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I mean, they're you can read the comics and watch the shows. I mean, I would probably subscribe to this more than I would Disney's thing. Because I mean, you're able to read comics and watch shows. I mean, that to me sounds really fucking good.
Well, when you said Jim Lee, you forgot to mention all-around great guy and one of the best of all times in terms of comic book artists. I had to correct.
I'm sorry. I read the name. I didn't know who exactly he was.
Did you watch the X-Men show from the 90s as a kid?
Yes, I did.
And you saw Jim Lee's character designs.
Okay.
So no, but I saw this news earlier from one of our fans over on our Facebook page, and I just so happened to be watching Batman the Animated Series, and I got excited when I heard this. I don't normally say, hey, that's something I'm going to buy, but this was like, okay, so I get all the old shows, all the old cartoons, all the new shit that I'm not going to watch because it looks stupid and poorly made, but I also get all the comic books. Sign me up at least for a trial. What do you guys think?
Ooh, count me in, baby.
Oh, yeah. You give me,
I'm in.
Yeah, give me a 30-day trial. I'll.
The deal breaker for me though will be you have to have the animated movies on there. That's the fucking deal breaker.
Yeah,
they do already. They said that's coming.
They said that's going to be on there.
Yeah, let me read you the article, or at least part of what I found. It says that it'll feature, let's see, the new Titan show with Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol scheduled for 2019. On the animated side, the third series of Young Justice and The Outsiders. The new Harley Quinn series will debut, but DC will also feature other films, including the Christopher Nolan Batman, the original Christopher Reeve films, TV shows like Lois and Clark, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman, and but some of the newer DC stuff is missing. But it also talks about many of the animated films, Batman Year One, Gotham by Gaslight, are two of the titles mentioned. But what could make the service stand out is its selection of comic books. And by the way, guys, Batman the Animated Series, all of it, as well as Superman the Animated Series, is going to be there. Yep. So there's a lot to get excited for. I'm not sitting here and going to shill for DC and tell you guys you need to sign up right away. But from somebody that enjoys comic books, it's nice to step away from SJW Marvel and into some DC, from when it was still good.
Yeah, I mean, if they offer up a trial, check it out, see if you like it.
That's the best we can do.
Yeah, exactly. To me it sounds good. I don't read a lot of comics, but I mean the shows sound like a good idea. And if everything's in one place, then yeah, I'm willing to give it a try. I'm going to give it a shot.
So Logan Michael said politics and Star Wars only worked in the prequels. Yes, Logan Michael, you are correct. But remember, folks, when we talk about politics in the prequels, it's the politics of the world, not our real world politics. I think a lot of people like to forget that. Not you, Logan Michael, but a lot of people on the outside. Seals Will said that Rian Johnson looks like one of the McPoyles, and it's always sunny, Dion. I think Rian Johnson...
He's the sweaty one.
Yeah, he takes it like Margaret McPoyle, dude.
Oh, he does look like Margaret. He does look like Margaret. I $10. I bet you that he drinks warm milk before he goes to fucking bed.
God. I just licked my lips like she does, but you can't see it because this is the end. And then really good chef. Thank you. How many times do you think when Roundheaded Johnson was writing The Last Jedi? Hold on, let's see. He had someone tell him Captain Kirk is not in this one. Every day.
He said, shut up, man, baby. I knew that. I knew that.
Every day his mail-order bride would tell him, Ryan, honey, this is not Star Trek. And
you need to do that with the Russian accent, though.
I was actually going to do like a Korean accent, but I didn't want to come off as fucked up. In respect for Jake. Dion, but before there was a world-class bullshitters, there was the three of us. And Jake was definitely... We got to get him on the show just to have... episode 150 has to have Jake, or at least, you know, an interview with Jake.
He totally do it, man, because he follows the show. He doesn't listen to every episode, but we went to UFC 225, and he was like, we were talking about it, and he was fucking talking about, oh, well, when you guys said da 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 da, and dude, he would 100% do it.
It blows me away that people that know us listen to the show like fairly regularly. When there's a guy that I'm friends with, and him and his girlfriend are aware of the show, and his name's Rob, and he listens quite regularly. And I'm like, cool, because he'll say like, hey, you're doing so great, it's really engaging, I appreciate blah blah blah. I'm like, cool. I mean, it's awesome that we have all these listeners, but when people that you know have found you and you didn't really even direct them towards you, I'm like, that's cool. That's cool.
I told you there's a dude in my crowd class that listens, and he's just like, you know, because he's like, you know, 40 something, and he's a longtime comic book guy, wrestling guy, Star Wars guy, you know, and we'll be in class, we'll be talking, and then there are multiple times he goes, oh yeah, well, Dion's a world class bullshitter, and like we'll wink at each other. I got the reference that you're saying right there, so it's cool. A couple of people at work have found it. Like it's awesome.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. Well, Dion, before we get into our next segment, you mentioned wrestling. Did you know that today is the 20th anniversary of two major events in wrestling? First, it is the 20th anniversary of one of your favorite wrestlers, Kane, winning the WWF Championship.
For a day.
It's the 20th anniversary of Mick Foley and Undertaker's Hell in a Cell match. Which
I did not know that. I did not know that.
It's the same. It's the same pay-per-view as Kane winning the belt.
Damn.
So I watched that today at lunch, and then the WWE Network crashed because it's a shit streaming service underneath it all.
They had one job: stream all over the world. They can't even fucking do that right.
We're doing a better job than them. Yeah, I said it.
Fuck you, friends.
Well, this next super chat actually leads us into our next topic that I wanted to ask you guys about. Logan Michael, again, thank you. What are your thoughts about Jared Leto being cast as Marvel's Morbius?
I understand the business aspect of trying to cast people who have a following or a resume. I understand that. You know, but again, I just when you don't follow the character, that really bugs the shit out of me. And like I said, I wasn't pissed at Matt Damon for doing
Thor.
No, the China Wall, whatever that movie was called.
Oh, the Great Wall. Or
The Great Wall.
China Wall. I don't know where that came from.
That sounds like a David Bowie song.
China Wall. China Wall.
Or a Bob Dylan song.
Fuck Bob Dylan.
I went to the China Wall.
There you go. There you go. Imagine his voice in your GPS giving you directions. How fucking irritating would that be?
You wouldn't know what he's saying. You would be like, turn right where? What the fuck? It's him, me. Hey,
you know what? We just came up with a skit for our show.
Yes, we did. Straight off the top, America. Straight off the top.
There we go.
But like I said, I wasn't mad at Matt Damon for doing the Great Wall movie. You want an established actor to get people to watch your film. But I said it before, multiple episodes ago, when they don't look like the character, it just bugs me because you have a visual representation. And it just bugs me. I'm not gonna fucking batten the hatches down, but I'm definitely kind of like, I don't know about that one, fellas.
Well, I'm going to put out a video this coming week talking about Sony's attempt to build a Spider-Verse after the first one fell through as a response to the MCU, because there's this Morbius movie coming out, there's a Silk movie, there's the Miles Morales cartoon, as well as future installments of other Spider-Man things. So there's going to be a lot of brand confusion coming from the Spider-Man camp. And I feel like it's worthy of a long-form video. So, folks, I'm going to let the other guys talk about it. But I think Jared Leto sucked ass as the Joker, so he can't do much better as Morbius, the living vampire.
Oh, God. So he's basically going to be a pasty white guy with fangs. Is that what it's going to be?
Yeah, Felicia.
Okay, so he's fine then. He's cool. He'll do a good job. He's pretty fucking white.
This is basically like Rick Wim for a Dream Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Hey, Nick, ass to ass.
SS.
CS, thanks to y'all and everyone who only likes Star Wars OG now. Well, thank you, CS.
That's Star Wars OG. I'm stealing that shit.
Jaron Ricewig, what happened to the old days when heroes kicked ass and villains were awesome no matter what gender or race they were? Well, the 90s ended.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it became 2018.
The bums lost.
Well, no, I remember during the what was it? The Batman '89 live stream. Jeff made a point about like the last henchman's always the black guy, and it was like the hardest to beat for like the longest time. That was a thing in movies, and now you don't see that anymore. Now it's no. Now they just don't do it at all.
It was a positive stereotype.
I remember that happening a lot, and I was okay with that. I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like the toughest one, so it's fine. The fact that he's black doesn't really affect me. It's just like he's the last guy, so it's okay.
Daniel Thomas has this to say. I know it's a bit early. Nevertheless, I plan on dressing my daughters up as Rose Tico. Should they wear their potato sacks with or without potatoes?
Without. You don't want the stamina to wear out on during the trick or treating.
No, you want with. You want with. Potato sacks very thick. They're durable against the elements. Always go with the potato sacks. Always go sack first.
I say go without potatoes, Daniel, because they're little and their legs are short and they can only do so much. So
yeah, it's about the candy, not about the endurance.
Also, it's about potato free. That way, when their pillowcases full of candy are full, they just open the potato sack and you pour in the Jolly Ranchers. So it's like a 2-on-1 type.
And then you say, only one business can yield this much candy.
Only assholes steals the Mary Janes. Logan Michael, Booker T is going to be at my local Comic-Con. Well, Logan Michael, I don't want you to out your information of where you're located, but if Booker T was at my local Comic-Con, I would go because Booker T is a 5-time Dion.
5-time, Jeff.
5-time, Nick.
5-time, Kendo.
I think you should go there and you should cut that promo he did to Hulk Hogan to him.
Oh, I thought you were going to say like Stone Cold beat him up in a grocery store.
You can do that too, but I just want him to be like, we want the gold,
sucker. Hulk Hogan
comes after that. When we were at WrestleMania in New Orleans, we were right next to him.
Yep,
that's true.
He fucking ignored us. That kind of made me sad.
Dion, you were fucking.
I was like, Booker T 5-time. He didn't even fucking look at my black ass. I was like, yo, what the fuck, man?
That's reverse
racism. I was pissed when you lost at 19, son.
American Trent 421 Marvel execs Jared meet Marcus Halberstrom, axe to the face. Then Huey Lewis of the News clean up the mess. Movie saved. Dorsey has one less customer.
Oh shit!
I love our fans. God damn it!
Oh, that's a good fucking reference. I love it.
Oh yeah. Mattaween says we potato sack the ones we love.
Jesus.
Justin Panlasigui, I think the real reason nobody wants KK's job is no Hollywoodites want to be responsible for firing her. Lefty crew after she vacates. Love y'all. Well, thank you, Justin, for those kind words. And you're right. I think a lot of people don't have the balls to take, hey, I'm the one that got rid of Kathleen Kennedy. Instead of being the one that's afraid of being labeled as the one that fired a woman in power, you should take up with the fans, hey, I'm the one that saved Star Wars. And you will live on forever, because if your shit makes money,
always get pussy or dick, however you swing.
Yeah, whatever you want, you will get it from the fans. If you want 1,000 Rose Ticos delivered to every hotel you stay at, you will get those because no one else.
You want Rose Tico delivered to your hotel, it'll happen.
Yeah, she ain't doing shit. She's just hanging out.
Not like she's on Instagram, spending time there.
Audio Brew, cool name. Combined name, Fandom Unification Coalition. I like that. Or fuck for short. Logan Michael, the 2000s. NECA or McFarlane? Dion, you're a toy guy. Who made better toys in the 2000s, NECA or McFarlane toys?
Ooh, in the 90s?
No, 2000s.
Or 2000s. Oh, NECA.
Yeah, I'm with NECA all the way. By the way, I picked up a Mezco toy, my first one, the Mezco Michael Myers, so I can't wait for October.
Dude.
I went a little hard on some Michael Myers love this year.
I mean, you and me both, man. I mean, the movie's coming out. It's it looks very intriguing. They got the nice toys coming out. The fucking mask is coming out by Trick or Treat. Like, and then the best thing of all that's happening is like we all get together, around that time and get to have your birthday and hang out. So it's gonna be fucking nuts, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Dude, 2018, Jeff's birthday. God,
I know, man. I know.
Like I said, I rented a bar. By the way, listeners, if there's any people that are local listeners in the Cincinnati area, it's a public place. You guys should come and hang out with the bullshitters. But Halloween turns 40.
And make sure that you buy Jeff a fucking drink while you're there because it's his goddamn birthday.
You can buy his best friend a drink too. Just for the festivity. I'm down for that. Just so you know, just think it.
Buy us all a drink.
Your minds,
There you
man.
go. Buy us all a drink.
Well, to be fair,
Yeah, don't
I
be a
will-
cheap motherfucker and buy us all a drink.
speaking of cheap motherfuckers, I will be providing booze and food for everyone that comes. So I'm paying for a keg, multiple kegs, as well as cake and burgers and all kinds of shit. But that's off-air stuff. Nobody really cares about my birthday. But you'll care when we don't do live streams that week because I'll be shit-faced for a week.
It'll be a silent week. It's like, what happened? They're kind of dead. It's okay.
Jeff turned 30. They're all dead in a basement somewhere. Hurry, assemble the Dragon Balls and bring them back to life. But they can only bring back 3 of us, so we forget about Kendo for a while. But don't worry, Kendo.
That's fine.
We're gonna go assemble those Dragon Balls, and we're gonna bring you back, and we're gonna bring back Chris Farley and Phil Hartman, and we're gonna do something with them. I don't know yet.
Works for me.
Logan Michael had one more he wanted to bring up. Do I have any of the NECA Myers figures? I don't own any of the NECA Michael Myers toys. I know Dion doesn't. Kendo, neither do you. And Nick, do you?
I think I had the NECA Freddy Krueger one. That's the one I had.
Oh, okay. Those are good
Yeah.
toys.
Yeah, no, it was. Oh man, I opened it and I put it, in my room and stuff like that. I fucking love it, man. I really want to get. I think the Thing, the Fly, and Michael Myers is the ones I want to get.
Get yourself that Mezco Michael Myers, dude. You should,
I am, man. It's gonna happen.
I got mine before it goes out of print forever.
Oh yeah, I'm
was a
getting
great-
it.
Like Scott Bakula.
Yeah. He never made it home.
God damn it! Quit doing that.
Hey, he didn't go back home, but he went to a universe where he became captain of the Enterprise. So I think I'll take it.
Yeah, I'd take that one too. Space or your fucking wife.
for him.
That's a good choice. Space or your fucking. I'll take space. You didn't have to finish it.
Space for 300, Alex.
Space. Final Frontier.
These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Did I ever tell you guys the story when Joel called a strip club as Worf from The Next Generation?
Yes.
God
And
damn it.
Yes, you told it at WrestleMania. It was just me and Dan, but I was trying to get Joel to do the Worf voice wherever he said if he could remember it. And he for some reason refused to fucking do it, and that pissed my drunk ass. I was like, dude, fucking talk to me like Worf, you piece of shit. And he didn't do it, so he fucking owes me Worf talk. You, Joel, I know you're listening, you motherfucker.
Yeah, Joel listens.
Yeah.
He got upset
You
when I
fucking
announced to the
dork.
world. He got upset when I announced to the world that he's almost 50.
Well, he's almost 50.
I think late turned 50 today.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. You're not going to live that one down, are you?
Nope.
By the way, Lape, if you're listening, don't hesitate to ask me to hang out and drink with you. I know you tell me like, oh man, I wish you would have been here. Just tell me like a week in advance and I'll be there. We'll get shit-faced and we'll record something for the channel. Logan Michael will listen. He loves our channel. So before we get into the Jeff story of the week and all that other fun stuff from Kendo, the Fox merger, guys, it's going through day by day.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh dear Lord, 3 things I pray. Actually, no, I'm not going to sing on air. But the antitrust laws have been basically skirted because Fox is going to break up their sports subsidiaries into something else.
Yep.
What do you guys think about the situation? Are there any positives from the Fox-Disney merger in your eyes?
No.
Well, the positive is that they get Fantastic Four, they get X-Men. As far as that, that's pretty much the only thing I can think of. The short term wet nerd in me is like, oh my god, it might not be with these actors, but maybe we'll get a movie down the line. Like that's cool. But long term, I'm just like, this is fucking horrible. Like, I mean, this is really terrible, and I don't like it at all. I mean, I outside of as the sports fan in me enjoys it. I do like to see WWE go to Fox Sports or whatever. I think that's good, and the fallout from that I don't think is negative. I think everyone's going to kind of benefit from that. But in terms of movies and film and even TV, like this is fucking terrible, man. This is fucking terrible.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of these companies are under one major conglomerate now. It's fucking bad. You have Fox, you have Marvel Studios, and you have Lucasfilm under Disney. Like, this is weird. What fucking timeline did we jump into?
This is RoboCop. They are omni-consumer products.
Yeah,
God, you're not wrong. It's weird, and I don't like it. I don't like that one company controls this much shit. Like, I just don't like it.
Kendo?
No. No
All right.
positives. It's all bad.
Spoken like a true bullshitter. Justin Panlasigui says, if you all ever do San Diego Comic-Con, we're getting trashed, yo. Well, Justin, Comic-Con 2020, we're going to make it happen. So you have to wait 2 more Comic-Cons to meet the bullshitters. But I know I say this on air, but I want to keep the hype up for years to come because this is a full-time thing, and I love doing this.
Oh my god,
We're going to be at Chicago Star Wars Celebration, so if you're in that area in the Midwest, come there to hang out with us, bringing gifts.
60,000 subs. Imagine what we're going to be like in 2020, y'all.
Yeah, we're going to be, dude. We'll hit 100,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah,
This is fantastic.
We could easily have 500,000 by 2020. That shit is viable.
Yeah, you're working hardcore to make that happen every day. Oh, I got a message from Brian Lape. Personally, he says, "Okay, I'll try to remember." God damn it!
About it,
Smart
Brian.
ass.
God damn it, Brian.
Love that dude. American Trent 421 Kirk voice space a dark void like bad badge. Dion, do your best Kirk voice because mine was terrible.
I just love you did, and the end of yours. Mine was terrible. I would buy that for $1, and I don't care if anybody else doesn't laugh at that. That shit was hilarious. Okay, here we go. Yes, but why? Why would God need a starship?
Wait, Nick.
Oh, there's something on the wing.
There you
Oh,
go. Twilight
dang.
Zone. Yay.
On the wing.
Soylent Green is people.
I have to tell them. Soylent Green is people.
Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I'm just a sexy boy. Sexy boy.
Boy.
I'm not your
No, man.
boy toy.
Hey, me.
Boy.
I'm from Buffalo.
7 years ago.
You know what, folks? For everyone that says the Steve Harvey episode is the best episode of World Class Bullshitters, you're wrong. It's episode 129.
Which he clipped 128 from last week, which supplanted Steve Harvey.
Yeah. Every week post Steve Harvey has been better than Steve Harvey.
Hey, Steve. Steve.
Hey, Luke.
Let's show his prehistoric pitch how we do things downtown.
Previously on X-Men.
I
Ho, ho, ho.
spat all over
Now
my
I have
laptop.
a machine.
Get
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
get to the chopper. Please get to the chopper.
You
Oh my-
ugly motherfucker.
By the way, folks, if you send in shit you want us to say as Captain Kirk, we'll do it poorly. So you know how to contact us. Oh my God. Art Vanderlei would love to hear your reaction to The Last Jedi trailer now. One of the best trailers I've ever seen and the worst movie in the history of American film. God damn, those are some harsh words from Art Vanderlei.
Damn, dude.
Art, you can hear my reactions on the channel way back last year. I thought the trailer reeked of Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, and I had a bad feeling about that.
See, and that's the thing too. I mean, we could do a whole list of trailers that were way better than the movies, but I was excited, man. Like I remember I saw the Force Awakens trailer. I actually thought it was really good. For the Last Jedi, I was excited. I agree with Jeff. You know, obviously go back.
Surprise, lackey.
I am not your lackey.
Not what I heard in episode 55.
But yeah, no, I saw Empire too, but I thought it looked good, man. I remember being excited. Them going over the red salt or whatever, man. That shit, I was excited, but then I got a cold, hard Saturn dildo shoved up my ass,
And then the rings came out.
And
then
no one can hear you come.
Or the rings made me come.
Oh my God, we're getting a lot of things. So Logan Michael says, sing a song in a Kirk voice. So you're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. Dion, pick a song. Awesome choice, my friend.
With the lights out, it's less dangerous. Here we are now. Entertain us.
You said anus.
Yeah.
Nick, what's your song?
Tell me why I want it that way.
What?
Those aren't the lyrics, but who cares?
I tried. I couldn't do it. I'm sorry.
Let's see. American Trent. Do you like Huey Lewis and the News?
Nah, Huey's too black sounding for me.
Tap and Die, one of our super duper super fans. Put it like this: Tap and Die is a WCBS fan for life. That dude is the tits. He says only episode 69 is better than Steve Harvey. Catherine Best, a female listener. Thank you, Catherine. Jurassic World 2 is stupid, but better than Star Wars: The Last Jedi.
I mean, that bar wasn't set real high though.
Yeah, from what I hear, they copied Lost World exactly, or pretty damn
That's
much.
what I heard as well.
Yeah, so I'm not surprised at all. Yeah, I mean,
Saurian Sky in Kirk voice. Bob Barker did nothing wrong. Say Bob Barker did nothing wrong as Kirk.
Bob Barker did nothing wrong.
Kendo.
Bob Barker
How was that?
did nothing wrong.
Nick.
Bob Barker did nothing wrong.
I love this show. Mattaween says as Shatner, Luke, at that speed, do you think you'll be able to pull out in time?
God.
Oh man, Crown Royal makes World Class Bullshitters better. We need to get them as the official sponsor of this podcast.
Seriously, holy shit, that'd be
Royal.
amazing.
For excellence.
Drink that shit from Canada. Daniel Payne, are you serious best writing in terms of The Last Jedi's Saturn Award? Yes, Daniel, we are 100% serious. The Last Jedi won writing, or Rian Johnson won an award for best writing in terms of The Last Jedi.
It was in all the papers.
Sam Flanagan says, don't get greedy, boys. You're still green. Wait for some wisdom. Dion, you're the only green one here, my friend.
Yeah.
Damn right I am.
Great Loner says, Nick tried so hard and got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter.
Oh yeah. Jazz Boner Town.
Chester Buttersworth.
Was that a year ago?
No, it's a year ago next month.
But say, Kendo, isn't your 1 year anniversary on the show coming up?
Yes, sir. It's
Folks,
in about
tell
4
us your
weeks.
favorite. Tell us your favorite Kendo moment on World Class Bullshitters, and we'll read it for his 1 year anniversary.
It is very easily
Shoot.
beep, boop, beep, bop. He's a real robot.
I don't know. That's one of your best moments on the show, my friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a good thing you're giving them plenty of head starts because there's really not much to choose from.
Well, I will refuse for you to talk shit about the dude I coos with. Better fucking
Yeah.
slow it down, bro.
And because of your contribution to the show and my life in general, I've been enlightened to the word fuckhouse. So.
That's true.
Okay, Logan Michael. Oh, sorry. Billy Ritchie says, I'd rather watch Cecil's Moist movie than The Last Jedi.
Damn.
Logan Michael, do the Friday the 13th theme in a Kirk voice. Friday the 13th.
Oh my
theme.
God.
Like the kid, ma, like that?
What?
Michael?
Holy shit.
My sweet boy was in the lake by himself. Where were you? Where were you?
Kill her, mommy. Kill her, mommy. And then CS says, fire, and back to KK's replacement. You a scared? No one's a scared here. I ain't afraid
You
of
a scared up, honey
I ain't scared
boy?
of no ghosts.
I ain't
I
afraid
like
of
the
shit.
girls. Hey, Dion, did you get a chance to check out Luke Cage season 2?
I have not yet. I've been really tentative about it. I'm telling us I'm going to wait till we get back from this fucking wedding I don't want to go to, and I'm just going to fucking burn through it.
Well, my friend,
How is it?
trust me as your best friend in the entire world.
Yes.
It's worth the 13 or 14 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
Better than one?
I'll say so because some shit goes down. I don't want to spoil it for you. I just say watch it. If you're coming off Jessica Jones season 2, this is like a next level shit in terms of it's fun. There's some preachiness to the black movement, but you know what? That's what they put in all this shit. But the music kicks ass. Luke Cage is cool. Bushmaster's way better. Mariah's there. Shades is there. There's a lot of good quality in Luke Cage season 2. So I won't say it's the best of the Marvel MCU, but it's the best that we've seen in a year.
Okay. Definitely does it make up for Defenders?
Yes. And Danny Rand shows up in it.
Yeah, dude, listen, because you know me, I was hoping for Heroes for Hire would be kind of like
You get it in
season
this
2,
season.
whatever.
You get it in this season.
Fuck yeah, because God, fuck to the fuck yeah. Yes, that's what I want to see.
Oh my God, we got more of these Spock super chat or Captain Kirk super chats. By the way, I'm now halfway through that Crown Royal bottle. That's got to be a show expense in the future. So Daniel, holy fuck, high-speed lead poisoning is needed here. I hope he's referring to the Rian Johnson situation and not our show, because this is the best episode we've ever put out. I'm proud to stand by this show. Cosmic Dogaran says, Mr. Spock, I don't feel so good. I don't want to go. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Tough titties,
It's okay,
Kirk.
Jim. It's okay.
Everybody's got to go.
And then Logan Michael, rap in a Kirk voice. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days. Chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool and all shooting some b-ball outside of the school.
Straight out of Compton, a crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube. I'm not gonna say the rest.
I'm Slim Shady. Yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
You know, it's funny for the people that have left the stream, they're going to miss out on the great pop culture debate tonight from our friend
True story.
Tap and Die. Billy Ritchie says, Chuck Norris versus Mary Sue Ray. Best explanation, go. Well, I'll give you mine, and the other guys will go. Chuck Norris will just sneeze, and Ray will... No, Chuck Norris will sneeze, and Ray will disappear like in Infinity War.
I'm going to say Chuck does a push-up, the entire world goes down, and because she's so used to using her unlimited force abilities in the world, she doesn't see the roundhouse kick to the face, and she explodes, kind of like everyone that gets killed in Ready Player One.
Holy shit.
God, that was a fun movie.
Let's see. Ray tries doing a force maneuver, even tries using her lightsaber, and it just keeps like not cutting through him at all. That's how awesome he is. He takes the fucking lightsaber and just puts it around her neck and chokes her out with it.
Damn.
Dude.
Since Chuck Norris is more powerful than the Infinity Gauntlet, and she's gone.
I like it. American Trent 421. Never rub another man's rhubarb. Dion, do you want to cover Never Rub Another Man's Rhubarb? Yeah.
Sure. Let me give me my best here. Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Nick?
Never.
You cut out.
Oh, sorry.
The entire thing you went net. And
Oh, I'm sorry.
Nobody
Fucking internet got born. I swear to God. Never rub another man's rhubarb.
Kendo.
Never
rub another man's rhubarb. Let's go.
All right. And then
Rhubarb?
Elusive Ghoulie as Kirk. She's gone from suck to blow. And Logan Michael wants to let us know that the next Star Wars movie, Luke wakes up to find out that the new trilogy was just a dream. That almost makes me want to rap as Biggie Smalls. It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Okay, folks. So it's thank you to everyone that's put up with our bullshit tonight. We are definitely living up to the name world-class bullshitters. Kendo, give us your Jeff story of the week, sir.
I'm going to save it for after hours because
okay.
It's just too good. It's too good.
You know what, folks? There are a ton of people that are world-class bullshitters patrons, and one of the benefits you have to being a patron is an exclusive after-hours show titled World Class Bullshitters After Hours. Sometimes it's called World Class Bullshitters After Dark, if you know what I mean. So we're going to save that for that, and we're going to read Rhino's super chat as Kirk. Porkins, R-U-O-K.
I'm having trouble here.
Eject.
No, I'm
all
fine.
There we go. But, guys, we had a request here on World Class Bullshitters. Speaking of the patronage, we let you guys pick topics and things for us to discuss. You can request segments on the podcast proper. So our good friend Tap and Die asked us to bring back one of our classic segments. So for tonight only, unless someone on Patreon requests it in the future, we are going to bring back the Great Pop Culture Debate. So
The Great Pop Culture Debate.
Strap in, because Dion and I are going toe-to-toe. Dion, you are my best friend, and I love you like a brother, but fuck you, you're going down.
Ooh, you know what? And it's funny you say so. I so many issues that you and I, we've said multiple times, we agree on just about 99% of stuff. But a broken clock is right twice a day, and Sarah, I can't wait to tell you that you'll be the first broken clock that is wrong here, sir.
I am going to beat you to death with that 1%. So
ooh. Don't threaten me with a good time, my man.
All right. So, you guys ready to do this? Kendo,
Oh, yeah.
we heard Tap and Die's request, and like I said, we listen to every fan, patron or not, and Tap and Die wanted this to happen. So Kendo took it upon himself to be our proctor, our mediator, and Dion and I are going to debate the topic tonight, which is Crockett and Tubbs versus Riggs and Murtaugh. Who is the better cop duo? So Kendo,
East Coast versus West Coast, y'all.
exactly. We remember what happened to Tupac and Biggie. Just saying, bro.
That's right. They got shot by the government.
Goddamn Illuminati.
It's murder.
All right. So, Jeff, you'll be representing Crockett and Tubbs from Miami Vice. Dion, you
right.
have Riggs and Murtaugh from Lethal Weapon.
Rightfully so.
Okay. So, Nick has a copy of the questions in case my signal goes down. It is storming like a bastard outside. So, keep the flow going. Okay. This first question is for you, Jeff Hicks. In 60 seconds, tell me why are Crockett and Tubbs the best cop duo? You may begin.
Crockett and Tubbs are the best cop duo when talking about versus Riggs and Murtaugh, because Crockett and Tubbs have had more experience and worked together longer than Riggs and Murtaugh. Crockett and Tubbs have faced over 112 episodes worth of adversity. So maybe Riggs and Murtaugh had 4 movies and 11 years of that, but 122 missions or jobs or cases supersedes 4 or 5. So there are all kinds of things. They have to go to foreign countries together. They get kidnapped. They have to rescue each other. There's all sorts of things that they face in the line of duty that other cop duos have never faced. They're the gold standard of television cop duos. Their lives were always on the line, and they always had each other's backs. How much seconds do I have left? Okay, cool.
9.
I'm fine with that. Dion, go. Okay.
Do I just get a minute?
Dion, in 60 seconds, tell me why Riggs and Murtaugh are the best cop duo.
Well, again, obviously they didn't have as much episodic experience, but again, over the course of 4 movies, you have guys who are put in multiple situations in short periods of time. These guys will get the job done in the course of 2 hours, in the course of a couple of days. From the first episode, you have these guys are put into this giant conspiracy involving mercenaries who have experience in fucking Vietnam. You have guys going against international smuggling rings that are smuggling drugs and fucking golden cougar rings. These guys not only are able to effectively deal with these situations, but they do so while juggling personal life. Obviously, with Murtaugh has a bunch of fucking kids and a wife who's a fucking writer and all this other bullshit, and then you have Riggs whose previous wife died. These guys are able to juggle different situations in their lives while also going after and solving real world issues and coming over the fact that they have a lot of differences. So it makes them damn good.
You said coming.
I'd like to point out he left out Patsy Kensit, but that's okay. All right. This next section of questions, you have 120 seconds. Jeff.
All right, sir.
Would Crockett and Tubbs be effective cops in a different situation or location? Please give examples.
Crockett and Tubbs would be effective in different locations because Crockett is a Miami cop. Tubbs is a New York cop. Their tenacity alone would help them in any situation in any part of the country. They are vice cops, but there are vice cops in every precinct across America. So their street smarts, as well as their professional acumen with guns and stuff like that, they would definitely be effective. They can take out Colombian crime lords. I'm sure if they can take out the Colombian crime lords, they can deal with Joe Blow who's making meth. There's not a situation as a police duo that they cannot face. And you have to remember, they faced all kinds of crazy things. They've had to go undercover in foreign countries. They've had to go undercover without backup. They've been left to their own devices in New York City where they were fighting against a Haitian crime group. So Crockett and Tubbs have been shown in the show Miami Vice to be effective in different parts of the country, different parts of the world. So your answer is yes, they can do it. We've seen it on TV.
Okay, thank you. Dion, you also have 120 seconds to tell me, would Riggs and Murtaugh be effective cops in different situations?
Okay.
Examples as well.
Fantastic. And the question is absolutely. Not only are these guys very well versed in their own place in Los Angeles, but again, these guys are hardened war veterans as well. So you have both of them served in Vietnam, not to mention that Martin Riggs served in the Special Forces. That's an issue that comes up in the very first Lethal Weapon. I mean, not only does it set that he was part of a Special Forces group, but it also says that Murtaugh, took a bayonet in the lung for one of his buddies. These guys are veterans. Also, Martin Riggs, before he got to homicide, he was a narcotics guy. So, and you see that again in the first one with he handles a deal that goes a certain way at a fucking Christmas tree establishment. And again, Roger Murtaugh turns 50 in the first movie. So these guys have years and years of experience, not only as police officers, but as military professionals. Not to mention military professionals in one of the grittiest wars in human history. And then you take into account dealing with mercenaries, dealing with, like I said before, international smuggling rings from fucking South Africa, dealing with Chinese triad groups trying to fucking buy freedom for former members. Then you have fucking them not in terms of international, dealing with hardcore former cops who are building laundering outfits in the fucking desert. These guys have experience from top to bottom, and then also they prove multiple times that they are able to adapt to situations as they unfold. So things that would happen that you could assume that would happen in Los Angeles, put them in any other situation where it's a gunfight or a car chase or them being kidnapped like they were in the first Lethal Weapon film, where you have Martin Riggs, who has experience being fucking tortured, where he goes through an entire session and is still able to escape. You have Roger Murtaugh doing a headshot on a moving car with a bullet hole in his arm. These guys have more than enough experience, and they would absolutely be effective in other situations.
Okay. Now, question back to Dion again with 120 seconds. Explain to me what dynamic is most important to making Riggs and Murtaugh the best cop duo.
Well, I think the dynamic that makes them the best is their personal relationship. And I don't mean to say that as they're just best buddies and, and they happen to like cars and they're both womanizers, but it's the differences and how those differences affect the similarities. So you have Martin Riggs, who is by himself, his wife's dead. He's kind of a fly by the seat of your pants guy. He's a fucking crazy martial artist, special forces badass, who is kind of in a position where no one wants to work with. And then you have Roger Murtaugh, who's by the book, who is 50 years old. He's been a cop for forever. He's got 3 fucking kids and a wife who can't cook. On top of the fact that the dude, thank you for laughing at that joke, by the way, Jeff. He has a fucking, he's had multiple partners, and everyone kind of, is kind of woofing him off as the old guy, and then they come together. And then you have them saying silly shit like, hate God back, it works for me. Then you have fucking, obviously you have the I'm too old for this shit. But with all those differences, they come together in this perfect cohesion. Even their first case, like I keep mentioning before, you have a guy who works for, who's shooting pornos, randomly pull a gun on him, and they immediately take the guy down, and they're having a fucking conversation in the middle of making an arrest. Then you have, they just known each other for a couple of weeks, and you have one of their, Murtaugh's daughter gets fucking kidnapped, and they're able to formulate a plan on, 12 hours notice and go out in the fucking desert and get into a firefight. Then you have them getting kidnapped. They fight their way out of that. You have the whole department under siege, and it's those similarities where they know how to react under pressure and still have this crazy, hilarious dialogue underneath all of that that creates this crazy, awesome dynamic. And then afterwards, they'll go and they'll watch Murtaugh's daughter do a shitty commercial about fucking condoms. I mean, they have this dynamic that allows them to get into work, get out of work at the drop of a hat, and it's fucking fantastic to watch.
Very good. Jeff, with 120 seconds, same question to you. What is the most important, or what dynamic is most important to making Crockett and Tubbs the best cop duo?
I think what the most important dynamic that makes Crockett and Tubbs the best cop duo is the fact that they always have each other's backs no matter what. One thing that Riggs and Murtaugh have never faced was true adversity among themselves. Once they became respected partners, they were respected partners in a family. In season 4 of Miami Vice, Crockett goes too deep undercover and is lost to the crime world. Only Tubbs has his back. So for 3 or 4 seasons, you have Crockett and Tubbs as partners. But when the shit hits the fan, which is something that never happens to Riggs or Murtaugh, you have when Crockett knows he's gone too far is when he almost kills Tubbs. So that goes to show you that no matter how deep he is in, that the moment he almost betrays his best friend in the world, his partner, the only person that has his back, even more so than his wife. And this guy doesn't have really much of a family anymore because his life, he's just so deep. But when he betrays Tubbs, he knows that he's gone too far and it brings him back out of it. Their dynamic is on so many levels. Yes, they are friends. Yes, they work together, but they always have each other's backs no matter what the situation. There are times where there are possible moles in the Vice Department. They have each other's back and they know they can trust each other. There's a certain level of professional respect as well as a personal respect. They interact outside of the Vice Department. They interact on the clock. They're basically all each other have, because Crockett's family leaves him in season 2. They move to Atlanta because his wife or his ex-wife has a better job. Tubbs is there for him. And even when Tubbs has a chance to reclaim his old life with Pam Grier in New York, he chooses the law, he chooses Crockett. They come back to Miami and they always find a way to reclaim themselves. They're very much one and the same, and they work together.
Dion, you seem to have an exception to something that Jeff said. Would you like 30 seconds for a rebuttal?
I would, moderator, if that's allowed.
You may.
Thank you. His comment about not having true adversity, I think they covered that in the third movie, Lethal Weapon 3, where you have Murtaugh accidentally kill a kid. And I don't say accidentally in terms of he shot wrong, but they are in a very legitimate situation where they take fire from these fucking teenagers selling drugs, and he kills a kid that his friend knows. And you have Murtaugh goes down this deep, deep hole where he's drinking and no one can find him. And the only person that can find him is Riggs, and the person that he listens to the most is Riggs. And you have Riggs go out there and essentially bring his partner back from the deep end back to the department where they solve the case together. And it's that not that difference, but that emotional effect helps him not only solve the case, but he saves his Riggs' life later on in the film because of that experience that he had where Riggs came and got him. So I think that it's an equal adversity in terms of the effect on the partnership, and I think it's very clear that they do go through that together, and they come out the other end.
Do I get 30 seconds to rebut that or no?
You're actually going to get 60 seconds because I gave Dion 60 seconds because he was on a really good point, and I didn't think 30 seconds was fair, so I wanted to hear it out.
Thank you, moderator.
I want to clarify what I mean adversity. Yes, they face adversity as a duo, but once Lethal Weapon 1 goes down, they never have a moment where they're facing each other. Yes, Riggs and Murtaugh help each other after Murtaugh has the guilt of killing the kid. But Murtaugh never becomes a crooked cop. Riggs never becomes a crooked cop. Crockett goes so deep in the criminal world that he tries to kill him. But when he realizes he's almost overstepped that boundary, when he's almost overstepped that line for being a habitual line stepper to killing his best friend, that's what pulls him out of things. Laughing at that show. But that's what brings him back from the brink of extinction, in quotation marks. So I just really wanted to use this time to clarify what I mean. Also, Sonny Crockett was in Vietnam War. So all the stuff we talked about earlier, Crockett did it too, and did it first.
Okay, very good. I just like to point out that little bastard that Murtaugh shot probably had it coming. So
Ouch.
Jeff, with 60 seconds, I want you to give me 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of Crockett and Tubbs, and you may use examples.
2 strengths and 2 weaknesses, is that what you're asking?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so besides this, the teamwork dynamic, they're very effective in their jobs. There are other duos on the show Miami Vice. There's Switek and Zito, and there's Trudy and Gina. Crockett and Tubbs are always the A team. They have the respect of Castillo, their boss. They are revered and feared on the streets. They're so effective with their jobs that, when they go undercover, they're able to remain and keep that cover and never be exposed. Their strength is their conviction. Their strength is their what's the word I'm looking for? The results. They always get the results. They very rarely fail, and when they fail, it's on more of a personal level. So the weakness of Crockett and Tubbs necessarily isn't even the weakness of Crockett and Tubbs as a cohesive unit. It's when one becomes too emotionally invested, the other one pulls them out. So their weaknesses as a team become strengths when the other part of the team or the duo come into play and help them.
Okay, very good, very good. Dion, I would also like you in 60 seconds to give me 2 strengths and 2 weaknesses of Riggs and Murtaugh, and you may also give examples.
Okay, thank you. 2 strengths, I think, is very easy. It's the combination of these two with their individual strengths. So their war experience, their cop experience comes together, and they're a very unbeatable team. Another strength, obviously, is their ability to overcome their differences. They prove that in the first movie, as Jeff astutely pointed out earlier. But they overcome that, and then it doesn't really become that particular issue doesn't come back up. But as far as weaknesses, it's sometimes their inability to use outside help. I think obviously. Excuse me, the Leo Get situation is a prime example of that. So them, being very cold to Leo in the beginning, and it's very difficult for him to break into the group and show his worth because they're so used to working together, even though they had only been working together for a couple of years at that point. And then another one, obviously, I think is their quick-wittedness to react. I mean, it doesn't become such an issue over the course of the movies, but they will drop everything for the other one. I think they're effective alone, but once they know that there's trouble, they're going to go flying to the other one to help him out. And I think that definitely can't be a weakness.
Okay, time. Okay, Nick, you've got a copy of the questions. I'm just going to call slide audible on this one, just so give you a heads up.
Okay.
All right, Dion, you also will I'll give you 60 seconds. If it's going to run over 15, I'll allow it. I want you to give me 1 strength of Crockett and Tubbs that would make Riggs and Murtaugh better if they had it. And then I want you to give me 1 weakness of Crockett and Tubbs that makes them a less better duo than Riggs and Murtaugh.
Okay, that's actually a really good question. A strength of Crockett and Tubbs makes him better. Easily the undercover experience. I think you see a tidbit of that in Lethal Weapon 1, and it doesn't go well because Riggs is so off the cuff. If they were able to work undercover, they'd be even more dangerous to the criminal underworld. As far as a strength that would make Crockett and Tubbs better from Lethal Weapon, again that
Sir, the question, you may have misunderstood. What I'm saying is 1 weakness of Crockett and Tubbs that makes them a less better cop duo than Riggs and Murtaugh. So something that makes them not as good as Riggs and Murtaugh.
I think Jeff brought it up earlier that even though eventually Crockett was able to snap out of it, he almost killed his partner, and he does have a willingness. Not really a willingness, but I think a professional hazard that comes up is he can go too deep, and I think that's something that wouldn't happen with Riggs and Murtaugh. You wouldn't see them go so deep that they almost kill their partner and have to almost kill them in order to step out of it. Their willingness and their relationship is so strong it wouldn't get to that point.
Okay. Jeff, the same to you. 60 seconds, an extra 15 if needed. I'll call it. 1 strength, obviously, of Riggs and Murtaugh that you wish Crockett and Tubbs could employ to become better. And then 1 weakness of Riggs and Murtaugh that makes them below Crockett and Tubbs on your list.
Well, I'm going to start with the weakness first. And I think that some could misconstrue this as a strength, but I think the weakness of Riggs and Murtaugh is the family aspect. I think that makes them soft. In many ways, they deal with unrealistic situations that police officers would deal with. Crockett and Tubbs are street cops. They're vice cops. I think that their strength that Riggs and Murtaugh could benefit from would be consistent scenarios. I mean, how often are LAPD cops going to deal with South African colonists or whatever? I mean, that just seems like very awkward situations that these police officers would not be put into. Crockett and Tubbs deal with crime, prostitution, or let's take out crime because it's all crime. They deal with prostitution, drug smuggling, money laundering, pornography, things that real cops deal with. I think their strength is the fact that they've honed in on the specific things that they're supposed to be doing. They're not meant to be superheroes in flannel. They're very focused and very effective. Yes, they specialize in a specific thing, but because they're specialized, they're hardened to the job. They're not able to be duped as easily. And even if they're not duped as easily, they don't deal with fanciful situations.
Okay. Dion, would you like up to 60 seconds for a rebuttal?
No, I would not. I think that was very clear. I think I don't need a rebuttal on that.
Okay.
All joking aside, real quick, thank you, because we still have after hours to do. Anyway, folks, I'm sorry.
That's all right. We're getting in the home stretch here. Jeff, you can have up to 90 seconds to tell me what impact in pop culture did Crockett and Tubbs have that makes them important in present day or relevant.
Yes, thank you. This is the fucking question I actually wrote a fucking paragraph out for. Thank you. So, pop culture impact. Crockett and Tubbs are still the gold standard for TV cops. They stand alongside with Starsky and Hutch as well as Cagney and Lacey, and that's a joke because Cagney and Lacey kind of suck. Now, Riggs and Murtaugh didn't break any ground in terms of originality. Crockett and Tubbs beat them to the black-white dynamic by 3 years. And if we're really going to be fair, Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte did it 3 years before them.
You took my point, you bitch.
Crockett and Tubbs, as well as Miami Vice, as a whole, revolutionized the aesthetic of the 1980s. Men's fashion was impacted by Miami Vice. The characters are such a part of 1980s pop culture that when the 80s itself is parodied, it's Miami Vice that's being parodied, not all of the 80s. When you see like Glenn Guglia from The Wedding Singer, what is he? He's a Miami Vice fan. The white linen jacket, the rolled up sleeve, the expensive Ferraris and those types of things. Miami Vice is such a part of the 80s. Miami Vice is the 80s. Lethal Weapon also is part of the 80s, but when they ran concurrently, Lethal Weapon was not the gold standard of the 80s aesthetic. Things like Vice City, things like Kung Fury were inspired by Miami Vice. So when you go, and one thing too, Miami Vice actually saved the city of Miami. It took it from an old people's paradise to what it is now, for better or worse. Miami Vice, the show, as well as Crockett and Tubbs, who lead the show, have revolutionized what an entire real United States city is. That show's legacy has lasted. It's been off the air for almost 30 years. That show's legacy has lived on. Other things have replaced Lethal Weapon. Other things have replaced Die Hard and stuff. But Miami Vice is was such a cultural touchstone that nothing, and I do mean nothing, has ever topped that. Like I said, guys, the show was off the air for 20 years, and the game Vice City came out. Crockett and Tubbs are still parodied. They are the gold standard.
I granted you an extra 30 seconds. I thought you were on a roll, sir. Dion, I will extend the same time to you as 120 seconds. What impact in pop culture did Riggs and Murtaugh have that makes them important or relevant in present day?
Well, I mean, outside of the obvious, I think you have the comic factor. I mean, obviously, you have the hilarious Lethal Weapon 5 and 6 that came up for Lethal Weapon, and not only because of its comic relevance, but again, you have obviously the fact that Lethal Weapon wasn't the one to create the white and black dynamic that 48 Hours created, but it perfected it. It perfected the white and black dynamic. It also perfected the buddy cop movie dynamic. Obviously, the TV, it wasn't a TV show, but you have that buddy cop dynamic was so important that other movies immediately started copying it. You have other films that reference Lethal Weapon. Even small references like the one in a future Mel Gibson, where they actually have Danny Glover come back, and they even played a Lethal Weapon movie in the movie I'm talking about is Maverick. But you have that buddy cop dynamic that, again, wasn't original, but it was Lethal Weapon that perfected it. Obviously, you have the whole, anytime someone says, I'm too old for this shit, that's a thing that is brought up, a lot of comedy sets, a lot of different movies. That's reference to Lethal Weapon because it was such a random thing that was said in the movie. It went on outside of Lethal Weapon. And then the biggest part that affected is that its ability to come back. So you have Lethal Weapon 3 that was in the 90s, then it comes back years later in Lethal Weapon 4 that helped launch Jet Li in the United States. I mean, you have the Miami Vice movie, but it wasn't as much of a homecoming as Lethal Weapon 4 was. So again, it's not a TV show, but its breadth is just a little bit wider than Miami Vice.
Okay. Due to time constraints, I'm going to skip this next question. We'll save it for the after show. Jeff, question to you.
Yes.
You have 60 seconds to put Crockett and Tubbs in another cop movie or show and tell me how it would improve it.
Anything, or is it just buddy cop dynamic?
Anything. Freestyle it.
Well, let's put Crockett and Tubbs in Lethal Weapon. Okay, let's do that to play around with that dynamic. I think Crockett and Tubbs would be more effective because they wouldn't be fucking around fighting each other. There's not much infighting. When in Miami Vice, the first episode, the 90-minute pilot, once they're revealed to each be cops, they kind of put those differences aside instantly to get the job done. It's only when the job is completed that they become more emotionally involved. I think that if you would have put them in the scenario that Riggs and Murtaugh faced, one, they don't have the same family dynamic, so there's not as much to put on the line. They're more effective. They're colder to the job. They'll get it done quicker. So that scene in the desert, if you would have put Riggs and Murtaugh in the desert, like in Lethal Weapon, there would have been no daughter to kidnap. They're undercover cops. Their shit is more secure, to quote Burn After Reading. So they would have taken out Mr. Joshua and his whole crew of jabronis early on. There wouldn't have been another fight. They wouldn't have been captured.
Okay. Dion, I pose it to you. 60 seconds to tell me what movie could you put Riggs and Murtaugh or show that would improve it and make it better, and how?
Well, I'm going to go a little bit off the cuff. I think Jeff is going to nod that this was exactly something I would come up with, but I'm going to put him in Predator 2. I think that's a great vehicle because obviously Glover was in that film by himself, but I think that as great as that movie is shit out unjustly, but you add one simple dynamic and it's a shorter film and it's maybe a little bit more fun, is you add a Martin Riggs. You add a Martin Riggs in Predator 2 and you have those guys who are used to coming up with things off the cuff, guys who are used to coming up against insurmountable odds like mercenaries or fucking international smugglers. You have them come up against an alien who is prepped and ready to hunt the best hunter killers in that area. I think Martin Riggs and Roger Murtaugh would be the perfect score, and I think they would also be the perfect adversary to defeat that same type of situation. And you'd have them, they'd be able to differentiate between the fact this is a regular crook, regular guy, and it would be fun to watch. It'd be two guys in a shootout with a fucking alien, and it'd be fun. And they would have even better success than Danny Glover did by himself.
Okay. Dion, you have 90 seconds to compare and contrast Crockett and Tubbs with Riggs and Murtaugh and explain why Riggs and Murtaugh are better.
Hey, Kendo, we got to get a roll on, dude. We're well past 90 minutes.
Okay, fine. Dion, you have 60 seconds for a final point.
A final point. Okay. You said 60 seconds?
Yep.
I think it's very clear that these guys are both great examples of the buddy cop genre, and that's fantastic. We're going to get past it. I think that, again, Roger or Martin Riggs are better because the family dynamic, as Jeff even pointed out himself, is a strength. There's another reason for them to go home besides each other. Then you have the fact that, again, they're so different, but their cohesion is so apparent. Their charisma together, their ability to work together off the cuff, let alone after years of experience working together, is just you can't quantify how awesome it is to watch and how awesome it is to experience. Because again, of all the things they go through, of all the adversaries they come up against, of all the guys that they face, whether it be international drug smugglers, mercenaries, fucking just dudes down the street who want to sell drugs in a random housing complex, even integrating other people like Internal Affairs, the fucking enemy of cops, and fucking Joe Pesci, they are able to do so quickly, effectively, and get the job done in a famous and fun way.
Okay. Jeff, you have 60 seconds to make your final points.
As I said before, Miami Vice epitomized an entire decade. What is Miami Vice led by? Who is Miami Vice led by? Crockett and Tubbs. They did set the standard for an entire decade of cop dramas. That includes the decade that the decade that Lethal Weapon was created in. Maybe Riggs and Murtaugh lasted into the 90s, but Miami Vice started first and had way more jobs, missions, cases for them to appear on. It was a groundbreaking show. Those two characters have stood the test of time. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover are Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Crockett and Tubbs are just Crockett and Tubbs. Maybe that has something to say with the status of Phil Michael Thomas and Don Johnson. Maybe so, but those characters have transcended them, and they've become archetypes of an entire decade. Riggs and Murtaugh are not an archetype for any decade, through any period of time. They came out roughly a few months before Die Hard, which is a superior action film. They came out a few weeks before a Schwarzenegger film called Predator. So they kind of got lost in the shuffle. They've never elevated above the entire genre. The TV landscape was much different 30 years ago, and Crockett and Tubbs were the top of the top.
Okay. I think it was a great return to the pop culture debate, and the biggest takeaway I'm getting from all this is, Nick, I need copies digitally of Miami Vice.
You got it, dude.
He hooked me up with every episode. I watched that at the gym today.
Dude. I'll start the upload process at some point. Trust me. I actually might start watching it too. Honestly,
yes, because I would like to go back and watch it again.
It's on Hulu. Nick,
You should. You need to.
Is it really?
I have Lethal Weapon on Blu-ray.
All of them are Hulu. Every
I
single
don't
one.
have a physical copy of Miami Vice.
Oh man, well that's happening because I've watched all of Rick and Morty. Now I need something else.
Hey, by the way, Miami Vice has Bruce Willis on it, so
Ooh.
And Liam Neeson.
yeah, dude, and God, and Ted Nugent. If that's actually me,
Yep.
Is Christopher Lloyd in that episode as well?
no Doc Brown.
Jimmy Smith's in the first episode.
Al
Okay.
Bundy's in the third.
Oh,
Yep.
shit.
Yeah. So, folks, if you listened, because a lot of people left during the debate, and that's fine. This was a patron request to our good friend Tap and Die, who I know is listening because he listens to everything we do. So this was a Patreon exclusive request. Could you guys please bring back the great pop culture debate?
And we did.
We did exactly what was asked of us. So thank you to Tap and Die. I enjoyed this. I loved bringing back a classic element of world-class bullshitters that many people didn't know. If you liked this, and most people didn't because half of our audience left, but we don't care. We're men of our word, so we stick.
The debate was not about Star Wars.
Well, you know what? The fucking first hour and 30 minutes was about Star Wars. If you didn't get your fill of Rian Johnson jokes, look at a picture of Rian Johnson, and that'll finish it out for you.
Yeah, well,
But
baby Dick Johnson.
we do have to answer a few super chats because thank you to our friend Ryan, who was very patient. He was very generous. He said, sorry, guys. You are too young to remember Starsky and Hutch. They were the original badass partners. They were both from different cities. Plus, they took on a Dracula serial killer. Now, Rhino also said, plus Starsky and Hutch were the first to have a cool car. Chicks and guns. Cool car. I did butcher that. I'm sorry. But when you said Starsky and Hutch, I read that as shipping and handling. So there we go.
There's a cop series that needs shipping and handling.
I would watch it in a heartbeat. By the way,
It's just
Rhino,
been revoked.
Rhino,
They're gonna box this case right up.
Oh my god, it writes itself.
let's make it happen.
Put a
Yes.
bow on.
Hey Jeff, start a comic series about that.
Shipping and handling. I'm down. I'm doing it. I'll draw it in a cool classic style. So
There you
Rhino,
go.
honestly, thank you for being very patient. We didn't want to kill the flow of the debate, but I wanted to, first off, thank you for your super chats, but keep it rolling. And I will say this: a Ford Torino is cool, but it's no Ferrari.
Goddamn right it isn't.
And Starsky and Hutch, to my knowledge, didn't have Pam Grier on the table. So
Oh,
Pam Grier's in Miami Vice.
god damn, she's
Yeah,
a foxy
there's
lady.
There's a very awkward sex scene.
They have
Starsky and
nothing
Hutch.
on. They got nothing on Steve shipping and Harry handling.
Why
He's already got the names. I already got the names, man.
There we go. There we go. Mark it. June 28th, 2018, 10:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shipping and handling coming to a theater near you. Let's see. Killer Carl Krupp says, toss the cap in the garbage, Jeff. I don't know if he thought I lost or whatever, but you know what, folks? You get to decide who wins the debate. So tell us in the comments section below. Thank you, though, Killer Carl Krupp. I appreciate it. This super chat as well as all the ones. So I hope you join us again. Logan Michael, best 80s show besides Miami Vice? Well, I'm going to answer for me, Family Ties. Dion.
Oh, best 80s show. Shit, man. God damn. God, the 80s were so great. So,
If you say the Cosby
best
Show, you're fired.
Say what?
If you say the Cosby Show, you're fired.
Fuck no. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to. Oh my god, I can't even think right now. Come back to me. I can't even. The 80s is so much.
Perfect Strangers.
Over Quantum Leap?
Okay, fine.
Never went home
Dude,
again.
my friend, I am a fan of Balky Bartokomous more so than most people on the planet Earth. But come on, man, you and Scott Bakula are like blood brothers.
No, we're wiener cousins. I won't go into that. Anyways, yeah, I'll go Quantum Leap. Sorry, Quantum Leap.
Kendo?
I'm gonna say it's a tie between Night Court and Alf.
Oh.
Most of those
Damn.
casts are dead.
I'm gonna have to make mine. I gotta go with fucking Magnum PI, dude. I fucking love just that whole dynamic, and then it's fucking Tom Selleck, and he's driving a fucking cool car too. I gotta go with Magnum PI, dude.
By the way, Logan, Michael, if you would have just said best 80s show and not included besides Miami Vice, obviously I'm picking Miami Vice. I discovered that show 3 summers ago, and it has changed my life. Dion knows. The craziest part, Dion, is when I came up to your your sister's house, your mom had purchased Miami Vice all the seasons. So when I came up for New Year's Eve, when you guys were passed out drunk still from the morning or the night before, I popped in Miami Vice on DVD and had a fantastic time. It just goes to show you that the Green family does it like no one else.
Goddamn right, son. We don't play around with these streets.
Now we got 3 super chats to close out this show, and then guys, if you're a patron, make sure you check out our Patreon page in about an hour or so because we're going to go after hours there. But Justin Pan Lagusi says, sorry, I'm really butchering that because I drank half the bottle of Crown Royal. It's Pan La Segui. I had it right. Pan La Segui. You know what, Justin? I apologize.
Slam.
But you know what? 2020, don't forget this. My place, cigars on me. Justin, we're going to take you up on that, my friend. I'll bring 2 bottles of Crown Royal. You bring some cigars. No, you know what? You're officially one of us now. We're going to bring you Everclear, and we're going to party like it's Florida circa 2017. Only
get your credit card ready.
Yeah.
Your whole world up, son. That's what we're going to do.
Daniel Thomas says, great show tonight, guys. Thanks. Daniel Thomas, I never pat myself on the back, but I had so much fun on tonight's World Class Bullshitters. I would put this as a personal pick for our best episode. Dion's back. I've been drinking. We had a ton of stuff to talk about, and a ton of people were here to join us. So thank you to everyone who stuck with us. And if you're one of the 507 people that are still here, you're the real MVPs of World Class Bullshitters. So thank you very much. And finally, Logan Michael. Logan Michael, we'll have a good one. You too, sir. And I hope everything's fine with what happened. And I will respond to your message on Patreon, as I said, a little later, probably tomorrow morning during Good Morning Pop Culture. By the way, folks, if you haven't watched or listened to Good Morning Pop Culture, it's our morning show here on World Class Bullshitters, except no substitutes. Tuesdays through Fridays, 7:45 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm live on here. I pick a main topic. You guys can help the flow of the show. Go any way you want. We just keep it entertainment-based, but I talk about everything. My life, your life, entertainment. Tomorrow morning, we're going to talk about the possibilities of Jonathan Kasdan writing the new Indiana Jones film and why it's a terrible mistake. So if you want to hear me talk about Indiana Jones, please have your Indiana Jones questions ready. And I love Indiana Jones, except that 4th one. So it's going to be a really fun show. And it's Friday, so you're almost out of work for the weekend. Next week is 4th of July. There's all kinds of stuff to be excited for. So there's that to look forward to in just a few short hours. If you're a super fan of this channel, join the Patreon page, get access to World Class Bullshitters after hours. If it's out of your price range, that's fine. Just watch us here on YouTube. We appreciate it just the same. Join our Facebook page. It helps you get access to our community. There's a lot of fun to be had. We love to talk to everybody. We appreciate all the great topics that pop up. And we're having a Discord server being built in the process by Nick. So for all the people that have requested, guys, get a Discord server. Guys, get a Discord server. It's happening. We listen to you guys every day, all the time. That is not PR spin. That is not us, trying to, be in your good favor. We listen to you guys. When there's stuff you like, we do it. When there's stuff you don't like, well, maybe we'll apologize. Maybe we won't because, our heads are a little round like Rian Johnson's. But we'll figure out what works best for the show because we want to put out a really entertaining product. If you don't have a Facebook page and you want to contact the show, worldclassbs@mail.com. The best mail.
.com.
Goddamn right. And like I said, soon worldclassbullshitters.com will be a reality. So you can get shirts, mugs, everything you want with World Class Bullshitters, beautiful faces on them.
Get our mug
Stock
on your
on.
mug.
So, Jim Bobo, shekels for the bullshitters. Jim Bobo, thank you very much. You've been a fan for quite a while. I've seen your name pop up in the High Council, on Good Morning Pop Culture, here on World Class Bullshitters. Thank you to everyone. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. This is now a full-time thing for me. It's a reality, and it's awesome. We love entertainment. We want to save entertainment, and we want to have all you guys along for the ride while we do it. So, I've been your host, Jeff Hicks.
I'm the man with the plan and the original motherfucking tan, and I am not too old for this shit, Dion Green.
I have been your friendly neighborhood Simone saying good night and God bless.
I'm Kendo. Bye.
By the way, CS, I didn't forget your super chat. Kolchak the Night Stalker versus X-Files next. We will look into that. I've seen both shows. The other guys haven't, so we need to have, equal footing. But CS, thank you for being patient. We read your super chat. We greatly appreciate it. And CS, I'll read it again. Kolchak versus X-Files next, second time posting. You know what, CS? Thank you for double that. If you have a moment and you want to ask us one more question without a super chat, please do, because we owe it to you. We did not forget you. Logan Michael owns to know, are the podcasts on every Tuesday and Wednesday? Well, Logan Michael, real quick before we go, and I could cut this out of the Podbean part. World Class Bullshitters is every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only here on YouTube. Now, on Friday morning, we'll appear on Podbean, on iTunes, on Stitcher, on, I almost said Instagram, on, what's the one that's really popular right now, the streaming service that I just talked about at the beginning of the show. We're there. We're on Spotify. So, Logan Michael, if you love this dynamic of the real World Class Bullshitters, you got to listen to us on Thursday Night Live. Get your super chats in to ask us questions like you've done. But if you want to listen to us on streaming, Friday is the best place to do that. I do Good Morning Pop Culture every day, and High Council is here every 3 weeks. So that is the best time. By the way, we're going to be, since you're new to Patreon, we get together to do all the Patreon content together. So be prepared. Design Jedi says, longtime listener, love the show, keep it up. Just because you said so, Design Jedi, we will. So thank you very much. And I appreciate it. CS, you have no more questions again. You like what we're doing, and you're speaking for us. You know what, CS? I know some people don't like to say that, but I do. I will speak for as many people as I can. I'll keep it honest. I'll keep it truthful. I'll make sure that our voices are heard by the people in power. When a video reaches almost 1 million views, you know somebody at Disney has to know what's going on, folks. Law of averages. So thank you to everyone that has stuck with us through the entire night. And we'll be back next week with episode 130. And I got a very special game to play. So keep your calendars open next Thursday night. If you're a patron, wait an hour. You get World Class Bullshitters After Dark. Thank you and good evening.